Record it. And all right. So for those of you who are brand new that do not know me, my name is Melissa Adams, and I am like the mama bear for the team. And we just got back from the most incredible weekend, probably one of the best weekends of my entire life. It was a weekend filled with like hysterical laughter, love, because it's like a big family reunion when we go. We go to these, 2 to 3 times a year, and we just every that we see the 2 to 3 times a year, like a reunion. And then it was filled with just people pouring into you, and it was filled with tears, and it was filled with new friendships, and just things that when you leave there, you leave as a different person. You leave different than when you came. And I've got a lot of people on here tonight that we're going to take you through the weekend. We're going to share with you what, the things that touched us, and we're just going to get it started. And I'll give you kind of like an overview. It was 2 days. And the first day we go into this big arena, and in the opening, we've got 3 executives. One of them's named our CEO is Russ Fletcher. Our CMO, which is the Chief Marketing Officer, is Steve Elder. And the CSO, the Chief Sales Officer, is Curtis Call. And they come out and they have this video playing with their faces in this movie. And it's like the 3 amigos. It's like they're in all these different movie roles, but it has their faces. And at the end, it's the 3 amigos, and they're the 3 amigos riding in on the horses. And they come out on the stage with these huge sombreros, and it's just, they do this little dance. And it's like they're executive men, very successful executive men on the stage doing this dance. And it's just like, they're so real, and it's the greatest thing ever. So that's how the weekend started. And then, the theme was our story, and it was about everybody telling their story. And it was probably, and I'm sure that most of the ones that are on here with me will agree that it was probably the best event they've ever had, because we got to hear real people tell real stories, and real people tell stories of perseverance and things that they've overcome. And, to go from having nothing and having to dig in a dumpster for food to being a $1 million earner, it's just that kind of story. And it's just real life stuff. And so that was what Friday was. Friday night was our awards ceremony, where 2 of our very own walked across the stage and got recognized for their hard work. It's not something you win. You don't win these awards, you earn them. Because even though this is a very simple opportunity, it's a very simple business plan, you work your tail off to get it. And so congratulations, Cheryl, and congratulations, Jenny, on your achievements and being able to be recognized at this event. I was very, very proud to have you represent our team. And I can't wait until October, when so many more of you will be walking across that stage and being recognized, because it is quite an honor. So that was Friday night. Saturday, we got out and we did these breakout sessions with the leaders of the ones that are at the ranks, and the ones that you look up to. They're telling you how they got there. And so they do these breakout sessions, and they talk about the new stuff that's available. And then Saturday afternoon was more stories, and it ended with our CEO talking, and I'm going to tell you about what he said later on at the end. But I want to go ahead and I was going to do some other stuff, but I don't want to. I just want tonight to be about what we took away from Xyngfling, and for you to feel in a very small way what we felt while we were there. And I want to go ahead and start. I'm just going to start with the order that they told me that what they wanted to talk about. And I want to start with Debbie Blauser. And she's on here.
Yes, I'm here.
I don't see your face.
You don't want to see my face.
No. Yeah, we want to see your face.
I'll be looking rough. Yeah, this weekend was amazing. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I took away, hold on a second. I'm having technical difficulties. Okay. Take it away from it that anybody can do this. You just have to make a plan. You've got to get organized. I think it was, I don't know if it was Danielle or Deanne, I can't tell them apart, but they were talking about how to get organized and, you know, how you've got to keep following up. You've got to, you just really got to make a plan and stick to it. You've got to work hard every day. And yeah, they're pretty amazing. That's pretty much, I mean, I took in so much from everybody, and I know everybody's going to talk about it. So I'm going to just let it go from there. I just think you need to be organized, never quit, keep going, and anybody can do this.
That's it. Thank you very, very much. All right, we're going to go to, I don't know, I'm just going to go in the order that I see people on here. And Kendra, you're next.
Okay. I wanted to talk about the Amber Lee Snyder story. If y'all have not seen that movie, I'm telling you, you need to see the movie Walk, Ride, Rodeo. That girl was amazing. She has been through a insurmountable amount of adversity from the time that she had her accident, which you'll see, and she rolled her truck, and you'll just have to watch that movie. But she never gave up on her dreams. She never said, "Oh, oh." I'm sure she thought time and time again, like we all do. I'm afraid I can't do it. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I just can't do it, or whatever. But you know what? She never gave up on her dreams, and she overcame her fears and faced her obstacles. And she found a way to and made up her mind that she was going to make it happen. Well, I'm going to find a way to make it happen. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep going. That I've got to make this business my business, and no one can do it for me. I've got to do it myself. And so that's the thing that that I took away from her, is because if she can do what she's done and continues to do what she's doing, there's no reason why any of us cannot make our dreams come true. And we get up and get on the saddle and stay up there and make it happen.
Oh yeah, that was amazing. She came out on the stage in a wheelchair and told her story, and she showed videos of her using her hand to hold onto a ladder and hold onto that saddle, and her legs don't work. She's completely paralyzed. And she pulled herself up on this huge horse that was way taller than her and got up on that horse with just her arms and not any use of her legs at all. And she rode again. She raced again. She competed again, paralyzed. So yeah, Kendra, I'm with you. You know what? That's nobody could do it for her though. She had to get it in her mind that she was going to do it the same way with this. Rhonda?
Hey, there was so much that we could talk about, but and all the speakers were amazing. It really was the best event that I've been to, and I think one reason why is just to hear the heart of the CEOs of the company and hear their stories. You've heard a little bit about them, but then when they go into telling you more about themselves, Steve Elder to me was amazing. I loved what he did for his wife. That was great. But the biggest thing that I liked about the whole weekend was just us all being together. We see each other on Zoom. You know, we see each other at meetings, but just to actually spend some quality time together and get to know each other. You know, we're all a team. We may have different legs, but, you know, from Melissa, but we're all a team, and we're all there to work together and to lift each other up, to help each other in every way that we can. And just to see everybody's heart. That was you know, really important to me because, like Kendra said, anybody could do it. You just got to want it. And everybody there has a heart for it. And, you know, I just know that this team's really going to go far, and I'm excited about that. And that really was just.
Will you talk a little bit about what Steve did and how, you know, that he woke up with laryngitis and what happened on stage?
Yeah,
That was amazing.
Yeah, he had laryngitis, and he had a song planned out to sing to his wife, and he told about just some different things through their marriage that he had tried to make romantic for her, and it didn't turn out to be that way. And so he had this plan to sing this song for her, and he woke up with laryngitis, and he did it anyways. I mean, that just shows, you know, he wanted to do that for her, and you could just see the love in his eyes for her, and just to know that their heart and their family and how they feel about them. And you know, that carries over into us. They may not know us, the little ones, yet by name, but they care about each and every person that's there. And you can just see their heart and how they care for their families. And, you know, just, it was incredible. And I love the fact that his son wrote the song that he danced out to. That was pretty cool. So, yeah.
Thank you. That was really good. And I didn't even, she's not on our list, and she's not even on my team, but she was there, and she's our adopted sister and daughter, and but more than anything, she's our friend. And Dawn, you want to talk about what you took away this weekend?
Well, yeah, seeing that I was doing an order and I didn't even, you caught me off guard. Sorry. Biggest takeaway. I don't know, because this was my first event, so this was all just crazy for me. But I think the thing that resonated with me was seeing Robin Packard there, and Robin being Robin, not putting on an act for anybody. And I know that's not really a takeaway, but I mean, but it is. And some of y'all know my story, but not all of you do. But I'm me, and to hear Robin succeed and hit $5 million in the years that she's been here, and she's no different than me. I mean, her and I are so similar in personalities, it's not even funny. And that's what I see. You know, I don't have your bubbly personality. I'm me, you know, and so that anybody can do it. Back to that anybody can do this, anybody can do it. And then I think that was my biggest takeaway. I mean, I can go into the breakout sections, but I mean,
I love that. And Robin Packard is a silver ambassador with our company. Has earned $5 million in less than 7 years, and she makes about $200,000 a month. She walked up on stage, gum in her mouth, and just chewing like. She was just like Dawn said, just real. She is just real. She's no different than any of us. But we love her because of that. And, you know, and exactly what Dawn said, it just goes to show that just an ordinary person can do extraordinary things if you work hard. So I'm going to go to, who's next? Vicki.
I'm unmuted. Okay, can y'all hear me? I can't believe nobody's cried yet. How could you talk about this weekend and not cry yet? That blows me away, because from the time it started, not the amigos, that was hilarious. But from the time, and I guess Tom's the one I'm talking about. He was the first one that came out. I was lucky enough to meet Tom in St. Louis. We ended up at a meeting together. We were beside each other, and then it just formed. We all just kind of hung out all weekend because it was just the coolest atmosphere in St. Louis, the way the hotel was laid out. So we hung out. I got a good feel for him. I got to really get to know him. And then we stayed in touch. He's done Zoom with me. He's done interviews with me, and just a great guy. And I knew he was going to be nervous, but oh my God,
Tell who he is, Vicki.
Tom is a ex-professional baseball player, and he had struggled through his career and everything, and then he was diagnosed bipolar, and it pretty much ended his career, and some injuries on top of that. But as a baseball, and I guess maybe that's why I was drawn to him, because I was in that baseball world for 5 or 6 years, something like that, maybe longer. But so I know the struggles of coming up through the ranks, and that moment when you get that call that you're going to the majors. I mean, I lived through all that, and it's so exciting. But yet those guys live on the edge, because it could end any day, you know. So that being 20-something, early 20s, and having to deal with that, it's just, that's a lot of pressure in itself. But to see that man stand there and pour his heart out, sharing things that he shared, I'm sure, intimately before, but never in, well, maybe massive groups. I have no idea. But he was standing there, and I mean, even the podium shaking. So in his weakest flaw, or whatever you call it, he was the strongest he could be to be. So his two battles were his weakness, not his weakness, his fear and everything he was overcoming with his strength that he really had inside. And but what really gets you is, like Freddie Elias, 2 people spoke on that stage that took Freddie with them, because he has the strength to just stand there and just touch them and calm them, you know, which is their mentor, their leader, their whatever. So you draw from your team at all times, and Tom's $1 million earner. So you're never going far from your team, no matter what you need. But overcoming his fear to get up there, that was just huge emotional. I mean, my makeup went within 15 minutes of the conference starting, is gone. And I kept applying it. I used a lot all weekend, but it kept going away, because each story was so impactful. But then last night, and I know I got 5 minutes, but last night I was leaving the Boots and Bling, or whatever it was. We'd had a great time, talked to everybody, went in the hallway. Robin Packard is standing in that hallway. I thought, I ain't not talking to her. So I went over there and stood with her, took pictures with her, and spent probably 10 to 15 minutes. She was not impatient. She was nothing. And it wasn't me just talking to her. It was a good conversation, because I wanted her to know my first conference, I don't know, this is probably my 4th, I don't even know, was at Salt Lake, where she poured her heart out and told her story. And her first words on stage was, please don't video this, because she didn't want her kids to see what she had to say. She just didn't want that to end up. And so we discussed that kind of stuff. And I wanted her to know that day, what it did for me, because I knew anybody can do this. So I wanted her to know I appreciated it. So that was huge. But she's a $5 million earner. She didn't have to talk to me, but she does. And it was 11 o'clock at night. So that was awesome. The whole weekend was awesome. And I agree, the best one that we have been to, because it showed everybody's heart. That was the whole goal, was showing the team's heart, the individual heart, the company's heart. It was just fantastic. Awesome.
Yes, it was. And you did good. You got through it.
I
I don't even know, honestly, I don't know why we wore makeup the whole weekend.
I don't either.
So
it was crazy.
Tony had to reapply his several times. I'm just saying. So, that's who I'm going to go to next. Tony Edwards. It was Tony and Desiree's first conference as well. And they just decided last week at the last minute that they were going to go. And who we're going to start with? We're going to start with Tony or Desiree? Y'all muted.
I'll start with me.
Okay, go ahead.
With me being, and I've talked to a lot of people, but I sell Scentsy as well. And I made the decision today that I'm giving that up because of the way that I was treated from this experience to the last 3 years combined with Scentsy has just made it such, I mean, I've been like backstabbed and you name it with Scentsy from so many of the people that I thought was my friends. And like the family just that I felt like, and the hearts that were open and praising God, everything has just made such a difference this weekend. And I've already talked to several people, and I'm going to give it out. It takes about two months to get out of the system or whatever. And I've just got to let my customers know, and get people that take care of them or whatever. But like and I've actually talked to 2 people today about the different possibilities that they can do.
Everybody
So
should be clapping.
I am, it's hard. It is, because I'm not a person that just goes like, I've never been a person to be told no about anything, because I don't ask anything that they could tell me no for. And I guess that's where I'm at. Like, I've got to learn to accept that it's not the right time for that person. And that's the way I need to change my vision, as far as, if they can't do it right now, at least I planted a seed and I spoke to them, and it may prosper, and you never know what's going to come from it. So I've just got to get my mindset in a different way, where they're not just saying no, but maybe there's things that can happen on down the road. So
It's not right now. That's it. It's never a no.
So,
It's just,
all right, here's Tony.
woo. So I want to address that first and just say that that has been something I've prayed about. So that is a direct answer to my prayer. And I'm very happy to have you in 100%. And you're exactly right. It's so different than anything that you've done before, because you don't sell this. You share it and you wait. You share it and wait. And that's exactly right. There's not one person that walks on this earth that doesn't need this in some form or fashion. And you just don't know when the right time is. And I love that you just said that, because it's so easy to tell all these people and get frustrated. And I know Jenny's going to talk about this, and I can't wait, because I know she's been here. And it's so easy just to be in this place where you just feel like you're just giving it and just telling everybody, and you just don't understand why they're not saying yes, because you know they need it, but it's just not their time. And you've got to just keep telling everybody and just wait, because eventually it's going to be their time. So thank you for sharing that, Desiree. And well, I'm so excited. So Tony looks a little different. If you guys saw him a few days ago, Friday night, he had this long motorcycle looking guy beard, and Saturday morning he lost 10 years, and he shaved it off and came downstairs, and we didn't even know him. It was the weirdest thing I've ever done in my life, ever seen, because it was just like a completely different person. And I know you're going to address that too, Tony.
I am. The first thing I'm going to say about that, we were standing in the coffee shop, and 2 ladies that we had talked to the night before, we were standing there talking to again. And Desiree's actually talking to the one lady, and she's like, "Oh, where's that guy you were with last night, your husband?" And she turned and pointed at me, and that lady's like, "Shut the front door. There's no way that's him." And I even took my hat off to show her that my head was bald. She still, like, I don't know that she really 100% grasped the fact that I was who I said I was, without looking at my name tag. But on that note, I'm going to address a little bit deeper.
The boys asked you why.
When I got home, this is tough. I get real emotional when I talk about my kids. because there's no greater love than a father has for his children in all aspects, from our father to me, to them, to my grandkids, to my great grandkids. There's no difference. The boys walked in today and they're like, so what made you shave? And my simple reaction to that is I was tired of hiding. And I said this the other night. Women hide. They had a lot of stuff that you never show. My mama was probably one of the toughest women that I ever knew. And I know how much she hid that nobody ever saw. And you get to a point to where what made me shave was I was standing in front of the mirror with my dress clothes on to go to the awards banquet. And it was like looking at a totally different person when you look down this way. But when you stare back at the mirror, you see the same thing. You can't change without changing everything about you from the top to the bottom. What I have taken from this weekend to heart is the whole motto, come with us. And it goes a whole lot deeper than just singular. There was a man that walked around this earth for 33 years with the same message. As tight-knit as this organization is, family-wise, being able to insert God into the equation matters. And if that slogan don't ever go anywhere else, just know that I said it. And that's all I got.
Well, dang. I'm just going to move on because I can't even talk right now. So I'll call on Cheryl. I'll let you follow that because I can't.
Okay. Oh, gee, thanks. So I just wanted to mention how great it was to meet, all of you guys, and then everyone there, and how everyone did seem like a family and was close knit, and also just seeing everybody from, all these videos say I've used from the Share app, like from Katie's story, it was so cool to see there's Katie and then talk to her, and she was so nice and down to earth. And then we saw there's Brian from Brian's story and talked to him, and he was great and even gave us his phone number if we ever needed anything. And just to everybody, Lacey Friend, Monica Robertson, just, it was just awesome. And of course, walking across stage was great too. So loved it. Very inspirational, motivational, positive. It's great.
I am so glad that you went. And this was her first event as well. And I'm telling you, it changes you. It changes you. You get there and it changes you. My first event changed me. So I'm going next to Jenny.
Hey guys, and yes, I am looking rough here, and thank you, Tony, for making me start to cry already. I had those very same feelings this weekend. I was so incredibly proud to be part of a company that is not afraid to proclaim God. So, okay, I'm gonna try it, Vicky. Thanks a lot, Vicky. I think I'm the second Vicky because I always cry at everything. But I think my biggest takeaway this weekend was how we all have a story. And Cheryl and I talked a lot on the way home. A lot of y'all know us, know Scott and I, but you don't really know us. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about us, because it's our story. So y'all know everyone in life has wanted to quit something, right? Everyone wants to quit. Somebody wants to quit smoking. Somebody wants to quit a relationship, a marriage. Somebody wants to quit school. Somebody wants to quit work, quit a job. They hate it. Sometimes we're handed things that make us want to quit. Scott and I were never able to have children. That made me want to quit. And I look at my kids now, and I think I would never trade anything for the wonderful adoptions that were given to us and the greatest gifts we were given. Shortly after we adopted Michaela, we came home from China. Luke was 4 and Michaela was 1, and 2 weeks after we got home from China, Scott and I owned our own business, and we owned our own business, and we had 2 employees get killed in a car accident. On the job. And that will make you want to quit. My husband, there were many days where he wanted to quit. Give up. Close the doors. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. But God, I look back and I see the hand of God in everything. So 3 years ago, we decided to sell that business. And we have put everything into a new one. And some of you know that we are in a position where now it's tough. Very, very tough. And you know what? Sometimes we want to quit. But you can't. And so when I started this business, I told Stacy, I need it. I need it so bad. But this weekend, showed me I can do it. It showed me that it's a company that's so young and so ready to help us reach our goals. You know, there's a quote that Scott always says, and it says, success is the progressive realization of a worthwhile dream. Is it worthwhile to y'all? What's your dream? How bad do you want it? Don't tell me how bad it is. Tell me how you're going to go get it. Because it's there. You can't quit. I'm in. I'm in for the long haul. So that's all I've got. It's a little bit about us. It's my story.
I love you. And I want you to unmute again because I want you to talk a little bit more about your singular journey thus far. And I know you've gone over this 5 minutes, but it's okay.
Sorry.
How many times have you wanted to quit this?
A bunch. A bunch. Stacy has heard from me. Melissa has heard from me numerous times. Stacy has been my shoulder. And I thank you for that. You know, not everybody's going to want to, I mean, you know, y'all, there's just so many times that you get those no's. You know, no one's opinion. So Les Brown gave a quote, no one's opinion of you is your reality. So just like Melissa and Stacey say, forget about the eye rolls. Who cares? They're not paying your bills. Right?
Yep. Good. I love you.
I love you.
And I'm glad you're all in. Luann, you're next.
Unmute. Hold on. Can't unmute. Here we go.
You're unmuted.
Hello, I'm unmuted. Hi, everyone. Oh, Lord, this weekend was just fantastic in every way. All the stories, it was very tearful, emotional, funny, fun, just so much going on all weekend long, and just loved every bit of it. And I think it was the best one yet. They're all great, but this one, telling their stories like they did, and the executives coming out and telling their stories like they did were just phenomenal. Everybody's talking about, you know, you don't want to quit this business. It's just blowing up. I mean, it's going so far. It's going so, and they're right there helping us with every single thing. Everything that we tell them we want, they go after it for us, and they try to make it work. And they're doing our business for us mostly right now. They're just helping us, you know, so much. I want to touch on, they showed us the map of the United States, the map of Canada. There are so many places that don't have anything. Georgia only has like 1,000 people. It shows Florida, like, I don't know, what was it, 500? Alabama is ridiculous. I mean, it's wide open. So there's so many people to go get and help, not just for the business. I mean, we definitely want that business, but we want to help people. And that's the main reason we're doing this. And that's the main reason we're in it. You know, we go out there and help them and get your business built. You can help them in their business. You can help them. If I'm going to talk about Tish Lethbridge. I don't have a personal relationship with her story other than I have a best friend that I had to live through it with her. Tish got on the stage. She was, what did she say, a C and D student, which doesn't matter. She met her husband in high school. They got married, got pregnant, got married, had 2 boys. But during this period, before she could break away from him, he was very abusive to her. But she did get away from him. Then she found another man, another husband that did the same thing. It just followed right there with him. And did the same thing. She had 5 boys by this person before she could get away from him. It was years before she could break away from him too. So she had 7 little boys with no money, no prospects. She got away from these abusive men, made it, taking her children to eat at churches, taking her children to just get food where she could get it, live where she could get it. They all slept together in rooms, 2-bedroom, places, and she was a waitress when she became this. When she got into Xyngfling, she was a waitress, and she has put her all into it, and she's just phenomenal woman out there. I mean, she's just built it so much. My friend, there is nothing worse than seeing someone you love going through this, and there's nothing you can do about it. And you have to fake liking their husbands, because if you don't, he'll take it out on her. So I had to do that for 20 years, over 20 years before she broke away from him. And it was very hurtful. It was hurtful for everyone that knew her. It was hurtful, of course, to her and her children. But I was so proud. I was just so proud of her for finally standing up to him and saying, "Get out. You're out of my life and the boys." So that just brought all that back to me, and I just really respect that woman for that. I talked to her afterwards a little bit too. But
and she is a $1 million earner as well. She is a platinum executive making about $70,000 a month now.
Yeah. And she's got 7 beautiful kids and grandchildren running around now. So she's an inspiration. She's just an inspiration.
And that's another story of overcoming. And that's a story that you can relate to in your singular life.
Yes. I mean, I have a wonderful husband of 46 years that's so wimpy that, I mean, he's so good that he apologizes to me when I start fights, and it makes me even madder. But anyway, so I have, I haven't ever had the abusive family life. My parents were wonderful. But
you know the ups and downs that this business takes you.
Oh gosh, yes. I mean, I've lost teams after teams after teams. It's just a roller coaster, but you just pick yourself back up, and I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting. I am not going to quit. So, but these stories this weekend are everybody's stories. I mean, people have stories. Every one of us have a story to tell, and you just tell your story, and people will come to you. You just stand there and show them what these products are doing to you, what the life is doing, what the business is doing for you. And people will come to you and say, "What are you doing?" They're going to come, and don't get frustrated when they tell you, "We're not going to do the business," because I've had people 3 years ago, come to me and say, "Okay, I'm ready."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Oh, seriously? You rolled your eyes at me and you're ready? Let's go."
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. You just because someone says no doesn't always mean no forever. It just means not right now. So Thank you so much for sharing, Luann. I appreciate you. Michelle, we just got a few more, and I could do this all night. We could go back around, because I'm sure if we went back around to everybody again, everybody could tell another story and another story, another story. We're not going to do that to you. We're just going to get through everybody, and then I'm going to end it. So we got Michelle, Stacy, and Bria left. Did I forget anybody other than y'all 3? I think that's it. Go ahead, Michelle.
Oh, Lord, you really want me to talk? You don't even know what I'm going to say. Well, I'm going to start crying already because I've been crying the whole time. I was ready to quit when I got there. And when Tom got on the stage and told his story of his anxiety and everything and him breaking down, it just broke me. And each individual story, there was a piece of me in that story. You can take something away from every single story. And what I love is that you can have 6 months and make $1 million, or it can take you 8 years to make $1 million. But where else can you make $1 million in 8 years? It's all the stick-to-itiveness, the overcoming, the unmentionable love that was poured on this weekend. And even the adventures that we had with the exploding sprinkler systems, with the bruises all over my body from getting knocked down, for getting seats, from everything. God threw those things in there to make me laugh, because if not, I'd been crying from the time I woke up to the time I went to sleep. I love you all.
I love you. And the stick-to-itiveness, I love that word. That is like my favorite word from the whole weekend. And I can't remember who said it, but that was like, when she said that, I was like, yes, stick-to-itiveness. That is the greatest word ever. Thank you for sharing that. Stacy.
Well, I thought I'd be able to at least start talking without crying. We are so blessed, guys. We have the most amazing opportunity and company. You have no idea if you weren't there, but you will know. The stories were amazing because we do all have our own story. And it's so easy for us to look at other people and think they've had a perfect life. I didn't have the best childhood. And I remember thinking everybody else's life was perfect. And I was the only one that had a mean mama and growing up with no daddy. And I remember one of the most enlightening moments of my life is when I found out that some of my best friends that I thought their life was perfect, it wasn't. They may have had an alcoholic father they were dealing with. They may have had, whatever the case may be. But it all goes back to we all have our own adversities and things that we go through that make us who we are. And to be able to just be real and to hear our people that own this company pour their heart out, men on top of that, to be able to get up there and pour their hearts out and tell their stories about how their lives are not perfect. They've made mistakes and they persevered. And to know that our company is built on the foundation of changing other people's lives, to give everybody the same playing field. We all have the same opportunity in front of us. It just matters what we do with it. And I made a heartfelt post earlier on my Facebook page that, I'm just sitting here in awe of the entire weekend. We do have the greatest team on the planet for sure. We have the best products. But, it's just the heart. We have something, y'all, that can change everybody's lives. There's a big difference in our product and Cincy. And I'm so excited that you are leaving that alone, Desiree, and you're coming with us, because we not only have the best products, we have what changes people's lives from the inside out. And when you have that and experience that, like we all have on this call, how on earth can you not feel it to be a duty to help change other people's lives with what we have. So I knew God had blessed me with that blue box and changed my life. And then I shortly thereafter decided I had to share it. And I knew that he had blessed me with an opportunity as well. But now this weekend, it's just confirmation. I get that confirmation from him over and over and over again, because I've wanted to quit several times. Because you know what? Some of us skyrocket really quick and we think, oh my God, I'm going to make $1 million by the end of the year at the way I took off. But I've sat in the same spot for a year. Not a horrible spot to be stuck at, but it is going to be a roller coaster ride. But guess what happens if you don't quit? And I always love Cynthia Evans telling you, Melissa, when you wanted to quit, when you won your Founders Club trip and you met her in the airport and you told her you were ready to give up. And she said, plain and simple, if you quit, you're stupid. And that's it. We are stupid if we quit. There is no other opportunity that we have. And I have always said from a young age, and my own family used to laugh at me. And I always said, there's got to be a better way. There has got to be a better way. Well, this is finally the better way. At 49 years old, I found it. And I want all of y'all to come with me. I don't even know what my notes are saying. Hello. Is anybody out there? I am just like, it's crazy. But anyway, we all have the same opportunity. We all have a different story. And we all have the same dreams. I mean, not the same dreams, but we all have the same vehicle to get us to our dreams. If we just do it. And that's, you know what? Just do it. Anybody, it's about building relationships. It is telling stories. We are not salespeople. You recognize your weaknesses and you correct them. You work on them. You find ways, and that's my goal this week. I know what my weaknesses are. We dig deep. Figure out what is your weakness. I'm going to get books, and I'm going to figure out how to be better where I am lacking. And it goes back to personal growth. This industry makes you a better person. Don't ever fear reaching out for help. We have such an amazing leadership team, y'all, in this company. So many people that I talk to that do not benefit one penny from what I do, but they are willing to pour into me anytime I want them or need them. We're one team with one dream, and I'll shut up. I love you guys. Wait, let's just go. Let's do this.
Go. Put your head down and work. That's all it takes. Thank you, Stacy. Y'all, I am still a wreck. This is crazy. Thought I was good tonight.
Melissa.
Yes.
One thing before you call the next one on. I know there's people on here that weren't at Xyngfling. You can get what we got in the breakout sessions from the leaders page. I advise you, no matter what your situation is, go watch those breakout videos. Learn what we learned and come with us to the top.
Yeah, because we going. We got one more, and then I'm going to close it out. Bria, you're muted. Hang on, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I'll do it.
Okay, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry. Y'all have killed me with your stories. Goodness. And I wasn't going to be emotional, but it's too late because y'all did it to me. But I think my biggest takeaway, sorry, God. Sorry. Okay, my biggest takeaway is don't quit, because I just remember Deanna saying, if you're sitting at manager and this is your third or fourth event, that's okay. You're still here and you can do this.
not directly to me, but I promise you she was talking to me because that's where I am. And one part, you know, I'm an overachiever personality. I mean, you have no idea. We'll talk about that later, but where everything I touch is successful. And that sounds really like overconfident or whatever, but I want to go to graduate school. My husband's in Korea and have 2 kids under the age of 3. That's fine. I can do it with a 4.0 at Vanderbilt. I am an achiever. And so it's hard when I'm out of my box and I'm not achieving like I think I should be achieving, right? And you get really hard on yourself and you get in your own head. But my takeaway from this weekend is get out of your head. I've been telling myself that, but I really believe it. Tell yourself that you can do it. Holly Parrish, write it in your office. Write it up on your wall. Have it, you know, tell yourself that you can do it. I know I just said that, but this team alone just makes me feel like wrapped up in a love blanket. You guys have no idea, and you're beginning to know if you're new that our team is the best team out there. And my story involves stopping my business and coming onto this team. And most of you know that story, but I would not change a thing. I haven't moved as fast as I want to move, but I'm telling you what, I want a team that looks at me and loves me as much as we love you, Mama. That's what I want. I want to be a leader like you. I want to be me, but I want to be that leader. You pour into us, you love us, and you make us feel like we're invincible, and I appreciate you a lot. And this weekend it has changed me. It's felt a little different for me. I was in a room with a bunch of you guys. I was in a room with my team member, my daughter Corey, and it was wonderful. But if you haven't gone to an event, my last takeaway, was if you are going to pay and you are going to take your time and go to this event, and I'm talking to myself, you've got to take what you learned and you've got to get massive action when you get back, or you have wasted your money. You've wasted your money. And I feel like sometimes I have gone to an event and I've been like, oh, let me write that down. That's awesome. Never implemented it. Never tried to take some of these amazing pearls of wisdom we've gotten from people and applied it. So I've got my massive action notebook now that I have written all day coming home, and I'm going to put it to action. And I know you guys are going to be right there with me.
I love you. Oh, so there was several more that were there that are not on tonight. And like I said, we could go on and on because there was so much this weekend that we all took away, and it makes my heart feel good to know what y'all's heart and what y'all took away from it. And like Bria said, you have to put it into action. What you learned, you have to go tell your story. Just tell your story. That's it. And it doesn't matter if you started yesterday. You've got a story. It doesn't matter if you just made the decision to order your products and you haven't got them yet. You have a story. Everybody has a story about why they're here. And take it, share it, and just have patience, because not everybody's going to jump on board right away. And I'm going to end it by telling you what the end of the night on Saturday, a man that I have so much respect for, the CEO of our company, Russ Fletcher. It's a man that I have traveled with. I have his cell phone number in my phone. I've called him many a times just to get help with stuff. He doesn't care. He loves us. He loves me. And I went on my 50K cruise with him, went to Sundance with him, Park City with him. Every time we go to events, he's the one that knows your name. He's the most brilliant mind of any person I've ever met in my life. He's just that person that he can tell you something and you just get it. And Saturday night, he announced on stage that he's been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And I want our team to rally together and pray for that man, because I really think that God's putting him through this because he has a platform, and something's going to happen where God's going to get the glory out of it. I know it, but I want us as a team to commit to praying for him and his family, because it's going to be a hard road. So it was a fantastic weekend. And those of you who did not get to come, sign up for Xyngfest. Do that now. It's going to be in Indianapolis in October. You don't want to miss it. So I want you guys to know I love you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I believe in every single one of you. I know that you can achieve greatness. Every single one of you has it inside of you to be whatever you want to be, to make this whatever you want to make it. You just have to put your head down and go to work. That's it. You just have to be committed. You have to be consistent. You have to be persistent. And you got to go to work and just say you're going to do it. And just do it. But I love all y'all so much. And yeah, we will talk to you on Thursday. And we're going to have trainings this week, individual trainings. If anybody wants to join, just call me and I'll be posting it on the leaders page. Y'all have a good night.
Love y'all.
Love you.